Hey, this is the Vegas Vic Show. Today's August 4th, 2026. Look, I want to talk really quick about this whole thing with Dr. Fauci. At the end of the day, the Republicans don't give a damn about what you got going on. They don't care because they're talking about this crap. And same thing with Donald Trump. They're focused on the wrong things. We sit here and talk about this guy, and this thing happened 6 years ago. He went in front of a committee, in front of Congress, and pleaded the fifth because he's like, I'm done answering questions. And today, they voted along basically at party lines to hold him in contempt because he pleaded the fifth. At the end of the day, this country is not prepared for possible disaster, and it's really sad to see. At the end of the day, look at what's going on around the world. Like there could be another pandemic, and people will say the same thing, like, "Oh, it's not real," and "Oh, don't take vaccines," and "Oh, we're shutting businesses down because of this," and making a big thing about wearing masks. Like, look, I don't know if humans make it when it comes right down to it, because we don't believe things that don't fit our narrative. A lot of people are like that. They're in their echo chamber and they don't do research. And when a natural disaster happens, or disaster like something like a pandemic, like I quote Ryan Hall, y'all. He's a meteorologist on YouTube, and he does a bunch of live streams about severe weather. At the end of the day, look, we have severe things that could be happening in this country, and we're not prepared. Our government's not prepared. Ryan Hall says, don't be scared, be prepared. And I agree with that. Be prepared. There's nothing wrong with being prepared. Be prepared and continue to try to protect yourself. There's nothing wrong with stocking up on food and water, supplies, weapons. There's nothing wrong with that. And I believe in the prepper community, and I believe that it's a good thing to have these things, because even if nothing happens, that's great. We don't want anything terrible to happen. But in this world and the way that our governments are being run and all these wars that are happening, they can escalate at any specific point. Look at Russia, Ukraine. Look at what's happening with Iran and America. At the end of the day, these two wars are very much becoming intersected. You have China and Taiwan. You also have North Korea and South Korea. These are flashpoints. And it's not speculation. It's the reality that these countries could be at war at any point. And the wars that are currently going on could escalate, and they could get worse. So I feel like at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with having things completely locked down in your bubble, and to protect your people and to protect your family. Because at the end of the day, we could have civil unrest in this country. We could have a president that refuses to leave office and can cause a huge amount of problems. And the way that they're targeting people in this country. Again, we hope nothing like that happens, but there's nothing wrong about being prepared. And I believe that. I believe we need to be. And again, Republicans are focused on the wrong thing. Donald Trump is focused on the wrong thing. He rage tweets, and I don't care if people say, oh, he's trolling. I don't believe he's trolling on a lot of things. I believe he's being honest. I think he's being transparent. I think that he likes getting a rise out of people, sure, but he is in decline, and that's concerning. He's already a narcissistic psychopath, in my opinion, and probably more on the sociopathic side. That's just my opinion, but who knows? I mean, the guy could be a complete goofball behind the scenes when it comes to being sadistic, and we've already seen how he can be. And I think it's even worse behind the scenes. I mean, I think that he loves dictators, again, because those dictators command power and they don't leave office. He wants that. He wants to be forever. He doesn't want to be set on terms. He's said it several times, and I believe he's going to stay in power. I think he's not going to leave. Again, he can't run again, and he says that. But at the end of the day, he keeps saying it over and over. It's becoming more and more part of his vocabulary when it comes to talking about things and tweeting about things. And I just think, again, he's building a bunker. I've said it several times. People say it's always just an extension of the White House. Again, it's more than that. If you're going to do something for security, just say it's security. Don't even say anything. Just say we're doing renovations, we're doing upgrades. The way he says it is basically, it's almost like, hey, it's very spiteful, being like, look, we're building something that's you can't break through. It has offensive and defensive capabilities. It's got a whole city. Um, it's basically a shield. We're reinforcing the doors at the White House. We're making it basically an impenetrable fortress. So at the end of the day, that's something that we have to watch. That he could just be like, hey, look, this man controls the nuke codes, okay? And we have an incompetent government, completely incompetent government. And I've said it in several videos about the missile situation that we have in this country. It is being degraded, and I believe with the True Social that he put out today, basically admitting that this leaker, there's several, according to CBS, that have inside direct knowledge of the missile situation, and the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff also brought this up. And there's been some back and forth reported between Pete and Donald Trump. Again, do you trust Donald Trump? I mean, he had classified documents being stored at Mar-a-Lago, and Pete Hegseth basically, with this signal chat thing, and even John Bolton, and from his first administration with the classified documents that he was storing. I mean, look, at the end of the day, these people cannot be trusted. They are incompetent, and if a disaster happens in the next 2 years, which could very well happen, we hope it doesn't. It's not being vague. It's not being speculative. It's just something that we have to raise. We have to raise awareness that anything could happen. We have to be prepared. And this government isn't. Nobody's coming to save you. At the end of the day, you are the government. Without us, they have nothing. We're the people that elect these politicians to be in power, and we have to choose better. We have to be better, and we have to think about our community, not just about ourselves. And it's a very hard thing to do sometimes as a human being. You think about preservation and about yourself, and that's fine. Like, you can better yourself. You can better yourself for people around you. But at the end of the day, I don't know if we make it as a human race if we continue this selfishness and this greed and this power hungry behavior. And it's all consuming. We're destroying a planet that at the end of the day, like, it's getting warmer and warmer. We have a super El Nino that's been confirmed. It's going to be a Godzilla, and they call it Godzilla El Nino. It's not hype. I've been following weather since I was very young. I was going to major in meteorology in college, and I've noticed that the climate is warming. It could be a very big combination of both human and natural causes and environmental causes, but a lot of it is humans. And now we're putting all these AI data centers everywhere that's going to pump a bunch of heat into the atmosphere. At the end of the day, we're trusting AI to do human jobs that, I wouldn't recommend. I wouldn't recommend those things. I wouldn't recommend putting AI in our targeting system, which is an actual thing that they're looking to do. I know that the push for the Trump administration with the AI is to help integrate that in the military. You're really going to trust that? Again, Terminator was a warning, and we're building Skynet, and these things are becoming self-aware. There was one model that had wrote code for its future self to get out of containment, and ChatGPT didn't even realize that one of their models had hacked. I think it was Hugging Face, another AI startup company, and it happened 4 or 5 times with a couple other models from different companies, and they didn't even know what was going on. And now they have this thing where the AI is basically, it's hacking consumers, and it's basically trying to take over systems. And this is what we're dealing with. There's so many flashpoints and potential crises, and our government cannot handle it. It cannot sustain this incompetence before something breaks. And we have several things that are happening around the world, and our missiles are being depleted. Again, that benefits our adversaries. If a major conflict happens, you have to consider that a major conflict can either erupt or get worse. And that's what's happening. Like Russia is likely, very likely supplying Iran with targeting systems as far as like information, um, possibly even weapons. Same with China to an extent. Again, these are adversaries, and if they again want to ramp up things, and we have a huge depletion, what is that gonna? That's not gonna help us. It's gonna help them. And Iran, where have we gotten with that? Again, Donald Trump today said that we're getting missiles and defense stuff built in other countries. What is that about? What happened to America first? So we got a lot of things that's going to happen and could happen, and we could have viral outbreaks. We could have like, the stuff with the measles. Like again, we're regressing as a country, and we really got to consider where we go from here. And I hope everybody really prepares themselves. Again, life straws, life straws that you can pick up at Walmart. Really good thing to have. That basically, if you're out and about and there's no fresh water and there's a lake or river, it filters out the toxins. They come in like bags too, containers, and it filters out the toxins. You know, have weapons, have a stockpile of food and water, and compass and printed materials, and just prepare for things. Again, there's nothing wrong with preparing because we don't know what's going to happen with this administration on how aggressive they're going to be with their authoritarian type governance. So that's just my opinion on it, everything here. And I really appreciate you watching. And if you like this content, please subscribe, like, and share and comment. I really appreciate it. And thank you again. Stay safe and take care.